Hey guys, Fallen here. In this video we'll be looking at some tips and tricks for early game in Age of Mythology Retold, some things that I noticed when I was playing the beta. These are aimed more for beginners like me, particularly who are coming from Age of Empires 2 and will be playing ranked games and trying to compete on the ladder. Okay, so many of the points that I will make will compare Age of Mythology to Age of Empires 2. And this is because I've played a fair bit of Age of Empires 2 since the release of DE version. However, most of these points will also apply to you no matter which RTS you're coming from. This list is focused on the first age, called Archaic Age or Dark Age for those of you from AoE2. And I plan to make more videos for the next stages soon. So without further ado, let's get right to them. The first thing you will notice when you start playing it is that the resource collection rates in Age of Mythology are very high. It would be somewhere around 45 to 60 of any resource that you're collecting per villager per minute in the Archaic Age. And of course, this ramps up as you get more economy technologies that boost your collection rates. This is almost twice as fast as collection rates in AoE1 and almost 3 times as fast as collection rates in AoE2. Next, the villager creation time in Age of Mythology is relatively short, about 15 seconds. This is 60% faster than Age of Empires 2. Now, with a high resource collection rate, if you are on hunt, you will only need about 4 villagers to keep up the villager production. You can even get away with 3 villagers on food if you are going for some aggressive strategies. But it might need a bit more APM to manage this than an average player. These two combined lead to a cascading effect where you're able to advance to the next stages just that much faster and get to military units very quickly. This ends up making Age of Mythology a very fast-paced game, where games can be decided in 10 to 15 minutes instead of 30 plus on average for AoE2. Next is a group of things that I noticed related to the food collection. It's not possible to push deer, by which I mean most types of hunt, towards your town center in Age of Mythology. This is a big contrast from Age of Empires 2, where hunt is usually running away from any human characters that you have, and the recent meta has been to push some of the deers found near your starting area towards your town center by scaring them, and this extra food under your town center helps boost your economy, and the extra food can be used to provide flexibility to whatever strategy you're going for in the second age. This is not possible in Age of Mythology though, and you're better off just making a granary near your hunt and collecting it that way. For those of you who really do want to push deer towards town center, here is a nice way to do it. Next is very similar to how you cannot push deer. You are also not able to lure a boar or an elephant towards your town center. They reset very easily, same as with hunt. And boar type animals, even though they attack back, it resets too fast, making it impossible to lure at least anywhere closer to your town center. So the best case would be that you make a granary, and you have to keep in mind that your collection rates are very high, and one villager on wood for 1 minute is already gonna pay more than enough for a cost of a granary. So please use granaries, please mill those deer patches that you see across the map if you want the food from them. Large animals are the fastest source of food in the game, and since they require less movement, you would actually get a better rate of food collection than if you collect smaller animals like deer. Related to this, while animals like buffaloes, elephants will attack you, you have to keep in mind that your villagers are strong from the get-go, and you do not need any loom-like technology in the arcade cage. You just have to make sure that you send enough villagers, somewhere around 4 to 5 villagers, when you're going to hunt big animals, because they do have a lot of HP. Next will be a big surprise for all of those from Age of Empires 2, and that is you can actually kill animals using your town centers, and that will not make the food instantly rot away. So, as you know, in Age of Empires 2, you use nukes that are thrown from town centers to kill your boars, and so as soon as the boar is dead, it just evaporates away, just like that. But that's not what is happening in Age of Mythology. You're shooting with arrows, and then you can actually get food from the animals that you have killed. No side effects. Next tip is for my friends who are coming here from Age of Empires 2. Here, in Age of Mythology, you can kill and take food from all animals, including monkeys, lions, etc. In Age of Empires 2, you sometimes see these animals having some food, but when you kill them, that food is not accessible. This is not the case here, and you will be able to kill and collect food from all the animals that you see on the map. Next is another very easy tip, and something you should always remember, that farming is not available in the first stage in the arcade cage in Age of Mythology unless you are playing the Egyptian pantheon, and those gods do have farming available in the arcade cage. Otherwise, you will have to go find those animals, the hunt, the herdables, and use that food. Next is an easy one as well. This is Poseidon's god power, Lyre, which counts as a granary. This did not used to be the case before, and you would normally place it near your town center, but now you can place it anywhere because you have a free granary. So put it in the first group of animals that you're going to collect, and you're saving 50 wood, and that can go towards, again, very aggressive uptimes if you want to. Lastly, this is a big difference as well coming from Age of Empires 2. Herdables like pigs, goats, etc. they start with a very small amount of initial food, but they do fatten up, by which I mean they are gaining some food per minute if you keep them near your town center. So it's a good idea whenever you're finding these with your scout that you send them to your town center, let them fatten up, and then what you'll be doing is you'll try to collect and use other food sources in the meantime, and then somewhere after you've clicked up or when you've run out of hunt type of food sources, then you will use these herdables and use them as the next stage of food collection. Okay, so a bonus point, And maybe this will be removed already when the game launches in its final version. So if you have auto queue on for villager production, there is a 2-second delay before the first wheels are queued. Maybe this will be fixed when the full version comes out. Maybe this is a feature so that auto queue doesn't take over the gameplay completely, but that has to be seen. So keep this in mind if you're trying to practice those very quick uptime build orders. Alright, so this is the final bonus point that I have, and that is you can actually make heroes alongside villager production. So this is usually a big thing in Age of Empires 2, where you're trying not to sacrifice villager production for any technologies, whether it be loom or whether it be wheelbarrow. It's a general idea that you are going to have continuous villager production. Now, in here, yes, you can make heroes on your town center, but they are queued independently of your villager production and they will not set you back. Now, the relics are actually very important because they give huge buffs like 50% villager cost reduction, increased HP on cavalry, etc. So it's a very good idea to pick them as soon as possible. Thank you if you've made it this far. The game is already out for early access to content creators. Not me, because I've just started, but most content creators, not just from Age of Mythology, but also from other Age games, will have access to this, and you can probably find them streaming live on Twitch and other streaming platforms. Some that I would recommend if you're new to Age of Mythology scene is Yodesla, who's a caster just like T90, and he brings incredible energy and enthusiasm when he's casting, so I would definitely recommend trying his streams. If you want to look into the context of a pro, there is AOMRE, who has recently started streaming, and he is one of the GOATs of Age of Mythology. I'll be posting links to both of their streams down below in the description. Again, I would recommend checking them out because they are some of the best and maybe a bit underrated content creators for Age of Mythology. I do plan to make more content like this on YouTube in the upcoming future. If this is something that you're interested in, please do consider sharing and subscribing to the channel. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments below. That's all for this one though. See you next time.